Hey everybody, welcome back to my Project 13. In the garage, the man cave, the YouTube studio, got the new banner up, got everything moved around, looking good. I may shuffle these smartphone boxes, accessory boxes, and toys around. The banner, my Project 13 that Jay will send, it's going to stay probably right here. YouTube creator. If you want to follow me on Twitter at Anthony131368, want to share the channel, it does say www behind the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge box. It belongs to my wife. It says .youtube.com/c/myproject13 T. Okay. Remember this? Let me know if you know what this is. This little toy. That's not the original. I had my own when I was in 3rd grade. There's this new store in town that carries a lot of these toys, new and vintage. And I saw that there. One of my boys found out about it, and around Christmas time, he went and bought it for me for Christmas. Yeah, hit me right here, man. Tell you. I remember having that toy and playing with it like day and night. Anyway, I'm here to talk about the Google Pixel 2. WishList. Don't have the Google Pixel 1. Never did. I still play with that device at Best Buy. I've played with that device a lot. I have YouTuber buddies out there that have this device. They've reviewed the heck out of it. Other YouTubers, excuse me, have reviewed it. So I've done a lot of homework on this device as if I already had it in hand, but I haven't. So I have to be careful when I share my opinion because I've not used this device day in and day out, morning, afternoon, and night. I haven't slept next to this device. Okay? But I can still have a wish list. I can still say, well, I didn't want the first one because of the price. I wasn't intrigued enough. The design was ugly to me. And again, that's my opinion. So please don't bash me too hard for that. But yeah, it just financially wasn't right at the time either. It should drop in price when the Google Pixel 2 comes out. And there's already rumors and leaks. That's going to get even bigger as we get closer to that time. But I would be lying to you if I said this was my idea, and it wasn't. But other YouTubers are going to jump on to this whole topic here and make their videos as well. Mark Bursteiner, his channel Burst Mode, he actually, I don't know if he's working for Techno Buffalo still or not, but he's got his own channel, and he's doing well over there. He actually did a video on his wish list, and he was directly speaking to Google. He wanted Google to pay attention to his video. Now, hey, if anybody from Google comes on by here, please subscribe, share, and donate. Bam. Right? Doubt it, but you never know. And I thought, you know what? That's a good idea. I want to give my wish list because when the price drops on the first one, even though I still don't want it, who knows? If it's affordable, I'll pick it up. When I give you my wish list for the 2nd gen of the Google Pixel, maybe it will be more affordable and I can have both. Who knows? So that's where I'm going here. Also, part of my family's out of town. They're going to be probably sending me some text messages. I'll have to look at those from time to time. So bear with me if that happens, but that's important for me to get to those texts to be able to reply to them. Make sure they're okay as they're out and about having a good time. So we're going to get to my top 5 Google Pixel 2 wish list. Right now using the Huawei Mate 9 1080p 60 frames per second. I'm now going to switch out to the LG V20. Okay, what I did not mention in the first part of this video is that I'll be using 3 devices to shoot this vid. The first device in the first part of the video, I was using the Huawei Mate 9. I'm now using the LG V20. Then I'll be going to the ZTE on 7. All 1080p 60 frames per second. I will edit all 3 videos together as one. We'll be talking about the Google Pixel 2, my wish list, 5 areas. But I'm doing it out of fun, just curiosity. And you can let me know down below what device does better when it comes to the visual quality that you're watching this video in 1080p 60 frames per second, and the quality of the audio as well. So LG V20 right now. 5 areas I want to see. First one is price. Now, this is my wish list, but at the same time, I'm trying to be realistic. I don't want to go too far off base. I mean, because we would all like to see what it used to be like with the Nexus devices. And I don't think we're going to get that anymore. We'd like to see $399, $499, $599, no more than that, right? But realistically, with what I want to see, and it may not even, still may be more than that, I want $699. And there could be two devices, but we're just talking about one specific one that's going to be the latest and greatest at the time that this device drops. If there's two, we can make a video and talk about that device later as far as a wish list. But $699, no more. The peak at $749. I don't know, but I'd like to see $699. But again, we'll have to find out when that time comes. No more than $749. We're not going to get what we used to get with the Nexus devices. I would be really surprised, honestly, and we're being realistic here and logical. It's just probably not going to happen unless Nexus makes its comeback. And I'd love to see that happen. I don't want to think of Nexus being dead at this point, even though that's the word. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But $699, $749 is, and who knows? It could be way beyond that. But that's the area I'm looking at. Okay, so number two, I want to get to the blueprint of this device, what it would look like. And I've already told you that the Google Pixel 1 was boring to me. It was ugly to me. It just wasn't there. Wasn't doing it. And, of course, financially, I wasn't there to pick it up. I played with it and played with it and played with it. Review after review, reading information, doing my homework. And still, and most of you didn't ask for me to bring it in anyway, so I never got it. Could come later. We'll see. But I would like to see, now I like to think of myself as pretty artsy, but I'm going to do this quick. Okay? So we're just going to make a simple, let's just say that's the Google Pixel 1. And these are those massive bezels. And it had decent bezels on the side too. Okay? To me, the volume rocker and the power button, that isn't a deal breaker for me. So if they want to place that up in here, or reverse that, as far as the volume rocker power button, or place the power button over, that isn't, as long as it's reachable, okay? And I'll get to that in a second as far as the size. But these bezels got to go. They got to be narrowed down a little bit, kind of like the new LG G6. Really digging that. A little more edge-to-edge display. So we want to bring out the display like that. We want this. I would love a 5.9, but I'm trying to be realistic with my wish list. So let's go 5.7. Super AMOLED 2K display. Okay, I would love to see 5.9. I'd like to see two devices, but I think that's where it's going to be. These bezels, top and bottom, man, that's a lot of real estate. There's a lot of building that can happen on this real estate. So let's speaker, USB Type-C for 3.0 fast charge. And yes, I still want to see the microphone jack, whether it's here or here. Let me put these as my mics. I want 4 mics. Okay, 4 mics. Here, 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 here. Speakers here. Now, you can put, and I doubt it's going to have expandable memory, so we're at least looking at 64 gigs internal. And they could possibly have 128 gig or 2 or 200 something. But I'm looking at a 64 gig because it's going to be a little more affordable that way. Okay. So they're probably not going to have that SD card slot. Okay. So 4 mics. And somewhere in here, it doesn't matter to me where they put the microphone jack. Some of you want it at the bottom. Some of you want it at the top. It doesn't matter to me. I just don't want it gone. Okay. And so hopefully they'll keep that. And again, 4 mics, so it can be a recording monster, content creator device. That's what I want out of this device. So volume rockers and power button doesn't matter as long as it's somewhere in here. 5.7 Super AMOLED, 2K display. This is part of the internals, but I'm just going to throw that in there because you're not going to have a SIM tray, right? It's probably not going to have a SIM tray. We want it. I will be surprised. Is that part of my wish list? Sure. Okay, SIM tray for SD card expansion. SD card. Okay, so yeah, I want that in 64 gigs at least to make it affordable. 128 is going to make it expensive. If they want to have 20,000 variants of this device and go up and up, that's up to them. But this is what I'd like to see. 3.0 fast charge, so USB Type-C, Type-C, speaker. Okay, the material of the body of this device has to be, for me, metal and a plastic type material that the Nexus 6 has. It's kind of leathery plastic. It's really nice for wireless charging. Who doesn't want wireless charging? And I'm sure you're saying waterproofing it. I can do without the waterproofing, but you're going to have your own wish list down below. Okay, I can do without the waterproofing. Make it water resistant. Wireless charging. No metal back here, just metal frame. None of that glass panel up here, which to me was really ugly on the Google Pixel 1. Okay, and the fingerprint sensor on the back. Okay, so that's what I want. So if I drew, I was playing around earlier drawing some sketches there. So if I drew it, okay, and these aren't going to be sharp corners. They're going to be rounded a little bit, okay? They're going to go straight across and then they're going to slightly curve and go down. Almost like it's going to square up like a Sony device, but it's not. Okay, so on the back we have a fingerprint sensor, not center, but it's going to be into center. On the front is okay, but if I want dual speakers on the front, can't have that on front. So we're going to have fingerprint sensor on the back and kind of a Huawei Nexus 6P. Except we're going to make not too much of a hump if they don't have to. Off to the side, the cameras will be, and I'll talk about the camera in a second. The logo, and then again, you have USB Type-C, mic. So I like the materials on the Nexus 6. I really do. Feels like leather back there. Really digging that. So you let me know what you think about that, but that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to have it almost built like this. Really, that's what I'd like. Okay, with the camera area slimmed down though, so that whole top is minimized over to probably the left-hand side. So we'll see. Okay, so that's number 2. That's the design. You can add to it if you want, but that's my thing. Number 3, battery. Battery and processor and internals. Okay, so we're going to go with that. I would like 3,500 milliamp to 4,000. That means a little bit of a thicker device. I don't care if it's a little bit thicker. I think thin was a trend. Thin still is in, but I don't mind if it's a little thicker. So give me a little thicker, put a bigger battery in there, 3,500 milliamp battery to 4,000 milliamp. And at least minimal 64 gigs of internal storage with starting at 4 gigs of RAM because we want to make this affordable. Okay, you start going higher, there's more money. This is my wish list, right? Yes, I would like the SD card slot to be there to expand the memory. I doubt they're going to do that, but I would love it. But as far as processor, it's going to have the latest and greatest, the Qualcomm Snapdragon 835. Okay, so 4 gigs of RAM minimal, 64 gigs internal storage minimal, and again, battery 3,500 milliamp to 4,000 milliamp. Okay, so that's where we're going to go with that. And that's number 3. And we're going to jump to number 4 after I switch out devices. Okay, ZTE Axon 7, shooting this video 1080p 60 frames per second. Remember, we started with the Huawei Mate 9, jumped to the LG V20, now the ZTE Axon 7, all 1080p 60 frames per second. Hopefully you were able to see my drawing. Again, when it comes to the blueprint of the Google Pixel 2 and in my wish list is to give us something exciting. to maybe take some ideas from other devices and integrate those ideas, and yet listen to the consumer, and yet still at the end make it cost effective for the consumer to be able to not go, wow, that is just too expensive, can't buy that, would love to have it. Gotta wait a year so the price will drop when the next gen comes out, and then maybe I can get it. By then there's so many other devices out there, you're just like, oh my gosh. Yeah, so hopefully in the video you're able to see what I was drawing here, and I was explaining it anyway, so hopefully that will, but let's jump to number 4, which would be the cameras, okay? So in the camera area, let's use the Huawei, well, let's go to the Huawei Nexus 6P, because I want it to be like that, but I want that to be more minimal. So basically, you know, the glass area here, probably in half, with dual cameras, dual flash, optical image stabilization. I want the dual cameras for that wide angle feature, okay? And then you'll have your regular cam. The megapixel part, I don't, that's not a big deal breaker for me in what they choose to put on it. I want dual cameras, dual flash, phase auto detection, the goodies, the works, okay? I want, again, optical image stabilization. The fingerprint sensor will be below that area. Again, it doesn't have to be as big as a hump. It wouldn't be metal because you want wireless charging. I did mention that in the other area that I mentioned as far as the design. And then I want that multi-view window feature as well. I love that feature, especially when you're a YouTuber, a reviewer, and you want to be able to have your audience see you and see what's in front of you, whether you're in an area like this or you're in a car vlogging or wherever you're at. Maybe you're at the top of a mountain that you just climbed and you want everybody to see you and see that beautiful view you're looking at. So the multi-view window feature is phenomenal. Love that on my LG V20. So on the front, I'm going to get a little picky here. Not only do I want the camera, let's just say 16 megapixel like the Sony Xperia XA Ultra, with flash optical image stabilization as well, back and front, but with flash. Okay, I'm asking for a lot here. Is that going to stay within that $699 price point? I don't know. I don't know, but that's what I'm hoping for. So, notification light, camera, 60 megapixel, optical image stabilization, and a front-facing flash. That's what I want. How they integrate that, how they make that device look sexy, I don't know. I don't know. On the back, they can figure out the megapixels. You can leave that information. What would be best with dual cameras? Wow, that would be beautiful. And the last one, who do I want? This is number 5. Who do I want to make this device? Who do I want Google to choose to design, draw out the blueprint, design it, make it, and put it out for us? The consumer, the techie, the YouTuber reviewer. There's 2 companies. And right off the bat, number 1, I'm going to say Huawei. Now, there was a little bit of bad blood between the 2, and they didn't make the first generation, the Google Pixel 1. Okay? We all know who made that device, right? HTC. Okay? There was no HTC branding on that device at all. That's a shame. They should have at least let them put that there. Huawei didn't want to take part in that. Huawei wanted a little more, but anyway, that was between the 2 companies, and it didn't work out, so they went to the next OEM, which happened to be HTC. So, Huawei would be my first pick. My second pick, and I don't know, this was very close, would be Lenovo Motorola. Lenovo/Motorola. I think they could really put out a sweet Google Pixel device. But they too may want their branding on that device too. So we don't know who's going to end up making the Google Pixel 2, but that is my wish list. Huawei, Lenovo/Motorola. We'll see. That's who I'd like. That's who I feel is the best two OEMs to put out the best Google Pixel 2 device. Unless it was just a Nexus. And again, I would still want these two to be the designers, makers of a Nexus, let alone a Google Pixel 2. So there you go. What do you think of my wish list? It's a little long. Hopefully you liked this video. If you do, leave a thumbs up. Please leave your wish list down below. Let me know what you think of mine. Am I asking too much? Is the price going to be too low? Do you think that's going to be an expensive device? Or do you think they can do all of what I'm asking for in a $699 price point? I think they can. I think they can. But whether they do or don't, I don't know. Anyway, everybody, this is my Project 13. Thanks for spending all this time with me and letting me just chit-chat with all of you on my wish list for the Google Pixel 2. We'll see what happens. More to come on that. Okay, as that time gets closer, there's going to be a lot of conversation going on. Peace, God bless. Have a great, great day, evening, whatever day it is. I got to go take care of some other stuff. I'm out. And always remember, you are my Project 13.